Today, we'll build a complete drill from start to finish. But first, let's preview the drill. Then, we'll build it step by step. D1 rims the puck behind the net to forward 1, who picks it up and banks it back to D1 at the blue line. After exchanging passes with the coach, D1 takes a quick shot with forward 1 screening in front of the net. D1 then releases to the corner, receives a chip pass from D2, and banks the puck behind the net to forward 1. Forward 1 crisscrosses with forward 2 before they attack D1 in a 2-on-1. Now let's see how to build it step by step. Before recording any actions, make sure all players, coaches, and other objects are in the correct positions and facing the right direction. The last object we'll add is the puck. Rather than trying to place it directly on the player's stick, drop it nearby first, then drag it onto the stick. It's much quicker and easier. With everything in place, we're ready to switch to the Action tab. We'll begin by having D1 take possession of the puck. Once a player has the puck, you can choose to pass, shoot, or dump it. Our first action is a rim pass behind the net, so we'll use dump. Click near the boards, where the puck will first make contact, then continue placing points along the boards to define its path. When you're happy with the puck's path, click the final point to confirm it. Next, we'll set up forward 1 to receive the puck. Like all players, forward 1 starts at 0 seconds, but since the puck needs time to travel behind the net, we'll move the first timing point to 0.3 seconds before drawing the skating route. Have forward 1 pivot behind the net and take a good angle toward the puck. Because it's a short skating distance, reduce the player's speed slightly by moving the final timing point to the right. Since the player now has more time to reach the destination, the required skating speed is lowered. Now, let's try to take the puck. The warning message tells us the puck won't arrive until 1.6 seconds, so we'll move the final timing point to 1.6 seconds. Forward 1 can now successfully take possession of the puck. To make the skating speed more realistic, we'll move the first timing point slightly later, increasing the player's speed to 15 kilometers per hour. Then continue forward 1's skating route toward the corner. Next, let's animate the coach. The coach starts by facing D1, but as the puck travels behind the net, we'll have the coach turn toward forward 1 coming up the boards. Move the first timing point to 0.4 seconds, create a tight pivot, and reduce the skating speed slightly by moving the final timing point to the right. Next, forward 1 banks the puck back to D1 at the blue line. Once again, we'll use dump. Click the boards where the puck first makes contact, then place the puck directly onto D1's stick. Next, select D1 and try to take the puck. You'll receive a warning that the next available timing point is at 4.4 seconds. Since D1 already has actions earlier in the timeline, we first need to create a waiting period. Add 2 timing points and move the second one to 4.4 seconds. D1 can now successfully take possession of the puck. Next, continue D1's skating route along the blue line. Reduce the skating speed from 20 km per hour to 14 km per hour. Then, have D1 take a few strides forward before pivoting backward to face the coach, ready for the return pass. Now let's continue with the coach. While forward 1 banks the puck up the boards, the coach remains stationary, so we'll create a waiting period by adding 2 timing points. To find the right moment, drag the timing marker along the timing bar. As you move through the animation, you'll see the positions of both the players and the puck, making it easy to identify when the puck passes the coach. Move the coach's final timing point just past the timing marker. Then create a small pivot before switching to backward skating and backing up against the boards, ready to receive the pass. Finally, select D1, choose pass, and click on the coach to complete the passing action. Next, continue D1's skating route backward along the blue line. Just before reaching the shooting position, rotate D1 slightly to create a better shooting angle. While the coach waits to return the pass, create another waiting period by adding 2 timing points. Move the second timing point until D1 is about a meter away from the pass reception point, so the player and the puck arrive at the same time. Choose Pass, then click on D1 to complete the passing action. D1 is now ready to shoot. Choose Shoot, then click on the net to create the shot. To customize the shot, select the final black timing point. Here you can choose between a wrist shot, snap shot, slap shot, or backhand shot. For this drill, we'll use a one-timer slap shot. Next, let's continue with forward 1. After making the bank pass, skate through the circle before turning toward the net to create a screen in front of the goaltender. Because of the short skating distance and the tight turn, reduce the player's speed slightly by moving the final timing point to the right. Now let's finish D1's shooting motion. Back D1 up slightly, switch back to forward skating, and increase the skating speed to 20 km per hour. Then, continue D1's skating route toward the corner, ready to receive the chip pass from D2. Next, let's animate D2. Start by having him take a puck. Since D2 needs to wait for D1 to leave the front of the line, create a waiting period by adding 2 timing points. Once D1 skates away, continue D2's skating route toward the blue line. Because it's a short skating distance, reduce the skating speed to 6 km per hour. Next, create another waiting period until D1 turns toward the corner, ready to receive the chip pass. Now use Dump to bank the puck off the end boards so it rebounds into D1's path. Finally, continue D1's skating route, turn to create a good pickup angle, and take possession of the puck. Next, let's return to forward 1. As D1 takes the shot, forward 1 is screening in front of the net. Create a waiting period by adding 2 timing points. To find the right moment, drag the timing marker along the timing bar until the puck passes forward 1. Then move the second timing point to align with the timing marker. Next, create a slight turn in front of the goaltender as forward 1 looks for a rebound and reduce the skating speed slightly. Finally, add 2 more timing points. We'll use these later to continue forward 1's animation. Next, we'll create a bank pass to a moving player behind the net. Select D1 and use Dump to bank the puck off the boards. Once you're happy with the puck's path, click the final point to confirm it. Now switch to the Play tab to determine exactly when the puck arrives. Drag the playback marker along the timeline until the puck reaches its final position. In this case, it arrives at 16.18 seconds. We'll use that time to synchronize forward 1's puck pickup. Return to the Action tab and select forward 1. Move the final timing point to the moment where you want forward 1 to begin skating toward the corner. Continue the skating route toward the corner. Then pivot to backward skating and back up onto the puck. Since we know the puck arrives at 16.18 seconds, move the final timing point to approximately that time to synchronize the puck pickup. To keep the movement smooth, adjust the pivot timing point until the skating speeds look realistic on both sides of the pivot. Forward 1 can now take possession of the puck. Continue skating backward briefly before switching back to forward skating. Continue forward 1's skating route up the boards toward forward 2, then use Dump to bank the puck off the boards into forward 2's path. Next, continue forward 1 around the circle and into a shooting position in the high slot. Now let's animate forward 2. Move forward 2's starting timing point so he begins skating toward the crisscross at the right moment. As you extend the skating route, you'll notice forward 2 arrives too late to receive the puck. Move the starting timing point slightly earlier so forward 2 starts skating sooner, then adjust the final timing point so the player arrives at the puck at the right time. Now, try to take the puck. You'll see that one final timing adjustment is needed, so move the final timing point to approximately 19 seconds. Then move the starting timing point slightly later to increase the skating speed to 20 km per hour. Forward 2 can now successfully take possession of the puck. Continue forward 2's skating route below the circle until the player is in position to pass to forward 1 in the high slot. Use the gray timing marker on forward 1 skating route as a guide. If needed, make a small adjustment so the marker is about 2 meters behind the player. This ensures the puck and forward 1 arrive at the same time. Choose pass, then click on forward 1 to complete the passing action. Next, choose shoot and click on the net. To finish the drill, continue forward 1 skating route beside the net, then have forward 2 turn toward the net, ready for a rebound. Let's finish the drill by returning to D1. After making the bank pass, continue D1 skating route towards the front of the net. Reduce the skating speed slightly to better match the timing. As D1 moves into position, use the gray timing markers on forward 1 and forward 2 as a guide to coordinate the 2-on-1. Continue skating backward to the front of the net, then pivot to forward skating and challenge forward 1 shot. Finally, turn back toward the net and make one last timing adjustment to complete the animation. Let's preview the completed drill. Watch how each player enters the play at the right moment, creating a realistic flow from one sequence to the next. With timing points, you can easily fine-tune your own drills to match the pace and timing you want. And that's it. You're ready to bring your own drill ideas to life.